Hi guys, welcome to another episode. And today we're going to be reviewing this, which is the Volkswagen ID4, courtesy of Sinclair Volkswagen in Bridgend. So, like I said, this is the Volkswagen ID4. So let's get into the review. So, this is the Volkswagen ID4. Now, I want to show you the interior. You will notice with this video that I'm not doing a transfer. The reason is for that is because this car is a lot higher than I anticipated. But I am in here, but I did need someone to more or less lift me into it. So we won't be able to do that in the review, obviously. But I mean, I can tell you everything there is to know about this car. I've lived with it for a few days, and I absolutely love it. I haven't reviewed a Volkswagen for a while. Not a car anyway. So yeah, I want to show you the interior. So the interior, you're going to see we've got half leather, which is really, really nice. It's really soft. Because this is the GTX model, we've got some red stitching here on the dashboard. The one thing I will say, I do think we could have done with a bigger screen here, because I mean, you've got a large infotainment screen and then quite a small sort of speed dial screen. This is your gear selector. Down here then in this little panel, we've got all your windscreen dimisters and then your lights. We've got on the right hand side of the steering wheel here, we've got this where you would then control your infotainment screen. And on the left, this is where you control things like your cruise control. Now this car is an all electric. On full charge, you get around about 310 miles. But obviously when the weather is poor like it is today, where it's raining and you need your lights on, you're going to get around about 270 to 80. So it's still really good though. This car does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got a built-in sat nav. It's got DAB radio, Bluetooth. It's got all of the climate control is also controlled from the screen, which is great. What else have we got? We've got a little cup holders down here. Then in a little other part here, little compartment, we've got wireless charging. We've got USB-C ports. Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff in the front. I got to be honest. Now, if we come into the back, in the back of the car, there is leather seats as well. Lot of leg room in the back, so I've been told again. Now my seat is back, not all the way, but I mean it is quite a fair way back. Then we're going to come around into the boot, and you will see in the boot it's a fairly decent size boot. It's not the greatest size, but I'm assuming that's probably because the batteries are in the boot. But then I want to bring you round to the passenger side, and in the front of the passenger side, I want to show you there's a lot of leg room. And the one thing I really like about this car, it's got armrests. I haven't driven a car with an armrest for a long time. The other thing I really like about it, is this roof. It's complete glass. And honestly, if I had one of these cars and I actually owned one, I would be out in it most nights and I would just be looking at the sky. Because I do like to watch the stars. So, as I said, this is the ID4. We're going to go on a short drive. I will then cover, in my ratings part, the transferring, because that's the only thing for me personally I found let this car down for me. But I mean, if you don't struggle with transfers or you need a higher vehicle to get into, honestly, and you want an all-electric car, this is definitely one to really consider. So let's go for a drive and then we'll have a little chat about it later. Right, so we've been for a short drive, and like I've said to you earlier, I have had this car for a couple of days, and honestly, it's a very nice car. But I would say, for me personally, just a car like this wouldn't work. But that's only because like I said to you earlier, I just couldn't transfer it into it. It's just impossible. But that's the whole purpose why I do this review, and all these different sorts of reviews. Big cars, small cars, vans, you name it. The reason I do it is because, well, look, I do the hard work, so then you don't have this sort of struggle yourself. But like I said to you earlier, if you don't struggle with transfers, or you did need a higher vehicle, then honestly, this would be perfect. Especially if you wanted an electric vehicle. and a good solid car and all, because that honestly that's one thing this car is. It sort of sticks to the road, but is very solid, if that makes sense. So that is going to bring me to the rating. So the first one, we'll get the honourable one out of the way, which is accessibility. Now I am going to score that a 1, only because, like I said, it's just not practical for someone like me. Practicality, though, in terms of boot space and the overall interior space, I'm going to score it a 5, because the chair gets in there whole, and that's even with all the back seats up. Which is, I haven't done a review like that for a while, where I can get all of the seats up and put my chair in easy. Comfort, I'm going to score it a 5, because it is very comfortable, and I like the electric seats. That's one thing I didn't mention earlier. This being the GTX, it does have electric seats, and it does also have like a massage bit on it as well, which is great, and it's got memory seats, which is great. And then performance, again, I'm going to score it a 5, because it can either cruise along nicely, or, if you need a bit more power, it's got that and all. And I like the range. I do like the range. Like I said, you get 309 miles on a full charge. Okay, on weather like today, like I said, you're not going to get great range. You're going to still get around about 280. But still, I mean, if it's a summer's day, you're going to get 300 more miles easily. So yeah, that does bring us to the end of the video. I would like again to say a massive thank you to Sinclair Volkswagen in Bridgend, South Wales. Um, and again, I mean, like I said, this is the ID4. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.